All right, we had Andy Puzder with us. Besides being the CK restaurant CEO, don't even get me started on their commercials and their great food, he stands out as a guy who's not standing for any candidate thus far. He has not endorsed anyone, and his endorsement is sort of coveted by politicians who like that seal of corporate approval, if you will. But you and I were speaking briefly during the break, and very good to have you, Andy.
Good to be here, Neil.
You haven't settled on someone. Why not?
No, it's very hard to decide. Marco Rubio is a friend. I like Marco a lot. It's terrible what's happened to him in this campaign,
What
I think.
happened? What happened?
Well, I think it was the Gang of Eight plus what Chris Christie did, and I think those things combined have made him look maybe too youthful in the debates. So I think it hasn't served him well, and he's a much better candidate.
It looked like the entire establishment, such an overused phrase, but piled onto him, and that actually hurt him.
I think that combined with his perceived position on immigration have hurt him a lot. I know Ted Cruz. I don't know him as well as I know Marco, but I really like Ted Cruz. I know a lot of people say they don't. I've spent time with him, and I do like him.
Remember when Donald Trump, fight among the Republicans who they hated more, Ted Cruz or Donald Trump?
Yeah. Well, I think they've made that decision. But as I've said on your show before, if Donald Trump's the nominee, I'll support him. So I want to get a little more feel for where the field is, and as I said, this has been a very, very difficult election for me. It was easy the last two times with Mitt running. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. This has been a lot tougher.
We're talking about Mitt, and we were talking during the break here that he would not back Donald Trump if he were the nominee. He would actually seek out another candidate, a third-party candidate over him. He hates him that much. What's the deal? Mitt is probably one of the most decent, honorable men that I've ever met. He's really just a good guy. And when he feels something in his heart, and you could hear it in the Salt Lake City speech, you could really feel that this was what he felt and what he believed. When he was here where you are talking to me about it, he knew there was no political upside for him doing it, that people would call him all sorts of things, and they did. But I think it was a religious kind of a thing with him, right?
Yeah, after the speech, I got an email from him where he said it had to be said. And I think he felt very strong. I wish he had been like that more in the campaign and less sort of scripted and listening to the people that were running the campaign. That was really pure Mitt.
It's actually helped Donald Trump. Right?
It has, but I think Mitt feels better for what he did, and I have a lot of respect for him.
But he was afraid, Romney was afraid if Trump became the nominee, it would go down in flames. There are indications that some Democrats have that he could be like a Reagan phenomenon, right? Grab Democrats as affected independents and pile up big numbers.
Well, the U.S. Census Bureau had some numbers out where 4 million working-class whites did not vote in 2012 that voted in 2008. Trump's bringing those people out. And, Mitt lost this election by about 390,000 votes in 5 states. Those 4 million votes would have made a huge difference. And those people will come out and vote this time. Now, whether Trump can hang on to the establishment traditional Republicans, that's still the question. But he's been amazing so far. I have to say he's just been an amazing guy.
What kind of president do you think he'd be?
I don't know, but I don't know him personally. I talked to his campaign co-chair and his policy people. But I was talking to somebody that did know him and trying to get some comfort with who he is. And the one thing that they said that made me feel comfortable was that this individual said, look, there are a lot of things you can fake in life. You can't fake good kids. If you've got good kids, that says something about you. And he's got very good, very accomplished, very supportive, and very talented kids. And it's kind of
interesting perspective.
Actually, that gave me some comfort that I hadn't had before I heard that.
Very bad kids, particularly sons, who always fight with each other.
Yeah.
Same apply.
I hope not.
So, in other words, you would support whoever ultimately becomes that nominee, Donald Trump, anyone else?
I can't support a big government socialist, and I think we have 2 big government socialists running on the Democratic side. So our country needs to go away from that, not towards it, and I think both of them would draw us further in, and that would be bad for the American people.
Andy Puzder, thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil.